Hi everyone, welcome back to economics class. Today we discuss theory of consumer behavior. In this chapter, we study the behavior of an individual consumer. The consumer has to decide how to spend his income on different goods. Economists call this the problem of choice. The consumer will choose his best combination. This depends on the likes of the consumer. The likes of the consumer are called preferences. The consumer can afford to buy goods according to the prices and income of the consumer. Here we focus two different approaches that explain the consumer behavior. They are cardinal utility analysis and ordinal utility analysis. In today's session, we discuss only cardinal utility analysis. Before that, let's see what is utility. Utility is the satisfaction derived from a commodity. Utility of a commodity is its want satisfying capacity. Utility is subjective. Let's see how utility is subjective. Different individuals can get different levels of utility from the same commodity. For example, let's take the case of a chocolate. Someone who likes chocolate will get higher utility from a chocolate than a person who is not fond of a chocolate. At the same time, utility that one individual gets from the commodity can change with change in place and time. For example, as we know, North India, especially Ladakh, experiences extreme cold weather during winter season, whereas Chennai, which is in South India, has moderate weather during winter season. A room heater can give higher amount of utility to a person who lives in Ladakh than Chennai. So, we can say that utility of the commodities varies from time to time and place to place. Now we discuss cardinal utility analysis. Cardinal utility analysis assumes that the level of utility can be expressed in numbers. Let's see an example. We can measure the utility of a shirt and say this shirt gives me 50 units of utility. Before discussing further, let's see the measures of utility. Measures of the utility can be classified into two. They are total utility and marginal utility. Let's see what is total utility. Total utility of a fixed quantity of a commodity is the total satisfaction derived from consuming the given amount of some commodity X. Here X denotes the total quantity of the commodity. More of commodity X provides more satisfaction to the consumer. Total utility, that is TU, depends on the quantity of the commodity consumed. Therefore, total utility N, TUN, refers to the total utility derived from consuming n units of commodity X. Now we discuss marginal utility. Marginal utility is the change in the total utility due to consumption of one additional unit of a commodity. For example, suppose 4 bananas give us 28 unit of total utility and 5 bananas give 30 units of total utility. It's more clear to say that consumption of 5th banana has caused total utility to increase by 2 units. That is 30 minus 28 is equal to 2 units. Therefore, marginal utility of 5th banana is 2 units. Here MU, marginal utility 5 is equal to TU, total utility 5 minus TU, total utility 4. That is 30 minus 28 is equal to 2 units. MUN, marginal utility N is equal to total utility TUN minus total utility TUN minus 1. Here N refers nth unit of the commodity. So total utility and marginal utility can be related in the following ways. TU, total utility N is equal to MU1, that is marginal utility 1 plus MU2, marginal utility 2 plus dash 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 plus marginal utility N minus 1 plus marginal utility N. Now, values of marginal utility and total utility derived from consumption of various amounts of a commodity can be explained through a table. Total utility increases at a diminishing rate. Here total utility is given 12, 18, 22 and so on. Marginal utility diminishes with increase in consumption of the commodity from 12 to 6, 6 to 4 and so on. This follows from the law of diminishing marginal utility. Law of diminishing marginal utility states that marginal utility from consuming each additional unit of a commodity declines. Example 12 to 6, 6 to 4, etc. as its consumption increases. Example unit 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. While keeping consumption of the other commodities constant. For example, total utility 24, again 24. For units 4 and 5. Marginal utility becomes 0. At a level, total utility remains constant. Total utility does not change at 5th unit of consumption and therefore marginal utility is equal to 0. Thereafter, total utility starts falling and marginal utility becomes negative. Law of diminishing marginal utility will be more clear to you through the graphical representation. Have a look at this slide. The given table shows values of marginal and total utility derived from consumption of various amounts of a commodity. In the first column, units of various commodities are given. The second column denotes total utility, and the third column represents marginal utility. Marginal utility can be obtained by deducting the values of total utility. For example, consumption of unit 1, the values of total utility and marginal utility are same, that is 12. In consumption of unit 2, 18 minus 12 is equal to 6. And in consumption of unit 3, 22 minus 18 is equal to 4, and so on. Here, total utility increases and remains constant at a particular point, that is 5th unit of consumption. On the other hand, marginal utility becomes 0 at a level and total utility remains constant, and thereafter marginal utility becomes negative. Now we focus the graphical representation of the given table. It shows the marginal utility diminishes with increase in consumption of the commodity. Here, x-axis represents quantity of the commodity and y-axis represents total amount of utility. TU denotes total utility and MU denotes marginal utility. The rate of change in total utility due to change in quantity of the commodity consumed is a measure of marginal utility. This follows from the law of diminishing marginal utility. From the explained topic, let's discuss some expected questions. Question number 1. Define the term utility. Question number 2. Name the two different approaches that explain consumer behavior. Question number 3. Classify the measures of utility. Question number 4. When total utility remains constant, what will be the level of marginal utility? And question number 5. Explain law of diminishing marginal utility. Now is the time to wind up today's session. Meet you in next class. Till then, bye.